Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm back and I'm mad.
Ron Gilbert told me he'd never make another Monkey Island unless...
Hello, dear listeners. Have you missed me?
Not if we get a second shot. That's a hell of a porn tash you've got on there, son. Is it the 70s again?
Maybe. Or maybe I just was sick of my coffee dripping from my beard.
Well, yeah, that works too. So, Monkey Island then?
Yes.
How appalled will you be when it arrives? It's shit. The gameplay is woeful. The storyline is terrible. It's not as fun as it used to be, and it's filled with microtransactions. At what point will you lose your shit?
It won't be, since Ron Gilbert will be doing it, and he did another game 2 years ago, Thimbleweed Park, which was all the rage, so I'm pretty confident.
Still has to go through Lucasfilm, which,
Yeah.
if memory serves, was bought by EA Activision.
Nope.
Was not.
Disney. Pardon, Xbox. Same as Devolver Digital.
Well, there you go. Well, maybe you'll be okay then.
Yeah.
Because Xbox is renowned for not having microtransactions.
Not as bad as they had before, and they had their hands in the financiation of Thimbleweed Park as well, so fingers crossed.
You do you. I haven't played a new title in fucking forever.
Yeah.
So, I'll find out about it in a couple of decades when I can be arsed. I still won't play it.
And just to get the big stompy robot out of the way, I today had a short little email exchange with one Anthony from Traders Galaxy.
Yes. Did he tell you I'm changing my email? Stop contacting me?
Not quite.
Not that him.
You all remember that the parcel that was meant for Fantasy World was rejected and sent back to...
Sent back to Australia?
Yeah. It's still on its way to Australia. And if I have understood Anthony correctly, it's bound to be at his place around May.
Fucking get in.
Yeah, and then he has to send it back to Germany, which is about 40 plus work days.
Oh, they're much lazier sending it back, aren't they?
I just looked up what DHL Germany would say how much travel time there is from Germany to Australia. So I'm guessing the other way around would be similar, because they say 40 days plus. So it's a minimum 40 days.
Well,
working days.
My goblins are due from MV Creative. So my second batch of little goblins who look like tiny goblin He-Man with the big nose. It's them, but more and different new ones. So on the St. Paddy's Day, before St. Paddy's Day, 16th of March, I got a message from Vittorio in Italy going, "Here's your tracking number, get the paint brushes ready, it's on its way." It's like, oh, cool. And then a week later, I checked the update on the tracking, because it's come from Italy, so it's going to take a week or two. Check the update, and it went, "Your parcel is in customs." I went, "Ooh," I went, "It's in customs in Beijing." I went, "Ah."
Oh, fuck.
So I sent him a message going, "I'd keep your eye out. In about a month's time, this package is going to come back to you." Now, they were both down with COVID, so they were at home. It's like, "I can't check anything. It's on the office. Maybe I give you the wrong tracking number." So I got a message from him yesterday going, "No, No, it's the right tracking number. No, the Italian Post has sent it to China. We don't know why. We need your date of birth and your postal address to send to them to open a case for them to go, what the fuck is happening to this? It's just as well I'm never in a rush for anything. Because that was particularly stupid. Fucking China. Who mixed up China with Nern?
That's almost as good as the one parcel that I watched going ping pong in East Germany to Bremen for several times because the sender, I think it was an eBay buy, had forgotten to remove one of his barcode stickers.
Oh, so they kept scanning one and then scanned the other one and then
So
sent it
always
back
wait
away.
this way for about 2 weeks.
Class.
And when it finally arrived, there were multiple stickers covered with stickers saying, please remove any stickers before reusing your...
Nice.
And yes, Dutch, the boat to and from Australia is the slowest possible way.
Australia?
So, potentially, I could still get my Bot Wars before my next birthday, which is in August.
Oh, get in.
Potentially, we will also see the
I'd just like to point out, if you'd ordered from Sweden, you'd have them by now. Because I got mine from Sweden. Fucking like that.
Yeah, if we are very lucky and it takes even longer, the order I placed at the end of November will have its first birthday before the box arrives. I don't fucking care anymore.
Delightful.
I'll just wait this out. This is going. This is its own hobby now. Waiting for things to change. I'm just waiting for someone mailing me. Hi, we are pirate captains somewhere in the Suez Canal. We've got your parcel. How much are you willing to pay? Shove it up yours.
Jam the boat in sideways. I think they just handed it to somebody heading south, and they've just been passing it on. So where are you going to? Italy? All right, Graham, you take this with you. Just keep telling people to pass it on. Pass it on.
Yeah, just put a sticker on it and a little robot device that says, take me with you. Chances will be that it'll arrive at some point.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should start running a book. Will Crispin get his golden button before the Bot War package arrives for Pandancer?
Someone needs to make take bets on that. So I
give you 2-to-1 odds that Crispin gets his first.
I think that the system is rigged already because he's in your house and you'll be responsible for gold buttons in the near future. So
best house. He's in. Fuck up, Ben. He knows what he did. He's in House of War as well.
Yeah, but you're the one making the decisions when Ben is on holiday. So
pass on like crabs. That's a delightful thought. I like crabs.
Mr. Krabs. So, fair bit of warning, people. The project system is behaving like a very sick old man, so it's very, very slow. At least for me and for Jerry for some reason this time also. So let's just hang in there and see what happens.
Bum, 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 bum,
so,
bum.
Mr. FOGH, das Huzzarian.
Yeah, only one little update since we've been here last.
With a lovely flag.
Or sorry, 2 updates. But they're both beautiful. So we have a commander. So Mikolai Abrahamovich, possibly.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Who knows? We might have a Polish in the chat because sometimes Adrian Radagast pops in which case he'll pop in and then go, what the fuck was that? Can I have my stuff back I sent you, Jack? I'll go, it's a fair cop, Adrian. How about you, Nick? How's it going? So, yeah, there's a lovely little command stand. And again, Fogg has put together his little scenic diorama from miniatures from a variety of places. So the Assault Group, Warlord, who else? Foundry, and 1898. Do some beautiful miniatures, has to be said.
And sadly, I know because I watched this post earlier that he had also given us the JPEG for that very lovely flag, which is hardly to see in these pictures, but it looks very nice.
Yeah, it's just down below. You can see it with a big cresty crest on it.
It should be here, where there's just the bloody link.
Should be. It's not. Currently not. But you can't have everything. It is on my screen, just not on your screen.
Yeah, as we have now
Project.
established, my connection to the OTT project system is rather bad.
Sorry. Salad was clean through there. It was just about that far in front of him. Otherwise, that was in the back of the net. Fuck. Anyway.
At some point in the future, I'm going to get used to the fact that you're watching the footy.
Hey, multitasking. It's not just for girls.
Is it not?
No.
Oh, here it is.
The only reason we don't tell girls is because they give you more work to do then. Yay, flag. Flags. It's all about the flags. There may be football interruptions, certainly.
Has he told us how he managed to get the flag on the pole? Is it just a printout, or is it...
Oh, yeah. Print out and use my clever PVA glue. Leitmotif to put the curls and stuff into it. Kid is going to get wiped out there. There's a lot to be said for the bending of the flags. Can't do it with tinfoil if you can be arsed. Most people can't. It's a lot of extra hassle, especially if you're going to print out something. Then you've got to make it a transfer, and then you've got to put it on. And, I mean, as Erica said, nobody got time for that.
And she's a wise woman for that.
She is. Very, very wise. But... But after the diorama for the commander is a complete cavalry unit. Now, have you been there? Have you pushed buttons on that one before?
Just now, so I haven't seen this
That's
one
all right.
as well.
Because I often push buttons when I see things, when they come past my view. So, it's difficult to say what's going on sometimes. But lovely set of 30 years cav for the old Polish and Lithuanians.
I think I'm going to push my luck and try to embiggen
Good trying to big.
those.
Oh, you should embiggen it. Oh, it's really nice.
See what's happening. Oh, we're actually getting a picture now.
Yeah.
How about that?
Look at them all in their loveliness. The only thing, I mean, and this is me, because it's me.
Have you spotted mold lines?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to comment on those. But the blackened armor, sometimes it's sort of soot and oil blackened, and sometimes it's enameled. And I'd almost be tempted to just pick out like a leader in a glossy enameled black, rather than so it's a bit shinier.
Because he's the only one who can afford somebody
Yeah,
following him polishing
afford
the
it
stuff.
to be done. Oh fuck! Surely he was offside. There we go. He was offside by about a fucking mile. Can't. But yeah, really nice set. I'm not sure when the next time they're planning on breaking them out and running a game with them. It's like the Yorkshire Gamer, who won podcast at the Caesars, actually. And every now and again he'll put out the stuff he's painted for Force for something. I just go, that's fucking insanity. And
People winning
Fog is the
stuff.
same.
Is that a thing?
What?
People winning stuff, is that a thing?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't got a single golden button, so not everything.
Oh, and have I told you I've won some?
Fugu.
Yes, you did. Ooh.
Oh, I'll just wait till that arrives. Maybe that also makes a detour over Shanghai or something.
You never know your luck. Never know your luck. If it gets round to Shanghai or Beijing, where mine is, it can always stop off and corner. Fuck off. He carried that out. Yeah, if it gets to Beijing, you can always stop off and just chill with mine for a little while. But anyway, yeah, some nice cavalry elephants for the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth.
So what's next on our docket?
Next,
Defective attack machine.
That's the one. But better than that, it's a battle report.
Oh no!
Nay.
Does it contain a lot of tiny pictures?
It contains a lot of big pictures.
I think he used these to make a video as well.
He did a video montage. I think the video is in here, actually. Maybe. But this is for the Barons' War, which is a war fought amongst barons.
Drink?
No. You never know your luck with them. And contains all the relevant, important things like fields, flocks of sheep, and peasants. Filthy, filthy peasants.
Can never have enough peasants.
But I quite like it. It's like an old school battle report written in a narrative style. So, you know, you have the dramatis personae on both sides, and you get things like on Abbott's right flank, a great battle started where their personal guards clashed with each other. After the Lord has attacked the militia Christie, set them back, his bowmen cause a few casualties to Lord Philip's spearmen. So, you know, it's like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the video he did very intricate text cards in between
Sure.
of the.
I've seen it on the Wargame spot. Well, I haven't put the video in here yet. He's just got the sheep video in.
Yeah.
Sheep video are good enough, though. It has to be said. There's a lot to be said for sheep videos. But obviously, battle reports. Battle reports are the way to go.
And he's never getting tired of Baron's War for some odd reason.
Hey, you know, find something you like, stick with it.
Indeed.
Like Saga.
I think he isn't with us today. I guess he's still on his personal hiatus.
Yeah, or he might be. I'm just not talking.
That would be one thing. I think I wouldn't talk to myself if I had the chance.
It's all about pheasants. Did you know if a car hits a pheasant, you can't stop and pick it up? Because it counts as like hunting. But a car behind you can pick it up for food. Just say.
Well, I know that it makes an awful loud noise if you hit it with your side screen mirror.
Tricky shot. Did you get extra points for doing that?
I don't know. It's been some time ago when I, as a student, worked for a small
Traction engine. Yeah.
company going from delivering parcels like the Amazon's drivers now do. And when I just left town, there was a pheasant deciding to just fly across the street right in front of this mini truck.
I think so, Amanda.
And then it made plonk, and the bloody bird was gone. And so was my mirror.
Sweet. I know this because whenever I was a kid, my uncle hit one in the car in front, much to his chagrin and my father's delighted amusement, because as we were driving down the road, the pheasants came chucking past, and he was going, yes, Ronnie, yes. Pull up, pheasant in the boot. Free pheasant. Back in the day when couriers delivered parcels. Yeah, they don't happen anymore, Nick.
Yeah.
These days they just keep them and then send them back to where they came from.
Or maybe
in some cases,
throw them somewhere in the water and just leave them.
But yeah, I would be surprised if people are unaware of the Barons' War project by the peak, but if you are, it's quite nice early to middle medieval project with a lot of football teams represented, which sends the button counters fucking bananas. So yeah. Oh, there's also tucked in the middle of it, you'll see some border war figures from Flags of War that he's been sent out to review.
Oh, those were the unpainted with the maps beneath them.
Yep, that's the one for Border Reavers.
These ones.
That's the one.
Excuse me.
Correctamundo. It's not the maps. It's just his backing card
Oh,
from the blister pack. You can just see the flags of war. I've got them sitting there to do an unboxing on. But he sent them out. It was like, oh, we've got a Kickstarter, and then we'll have another Kickstarter for these as soon as this Kickstarter's fulfilled. It's like, I don't even have time to unpack these. Never mind, fucking do a video of them before your Kickstarter's over. Let's calm the fuck down, fella.
oh
But,
speaking of Kickstarters, have you seen the lovely little things that
yes, you fucking beauty.
that Jeff did?
Yeah, the leprechauns.
The leprechauns, yeah, very very nice little set of green stuff.
Yes, it is. Not as nice. That was a fucking sweet nut header. And then Fabinho doesn't know how to slide on the grass. I thought he was going to break it hard there. Don't do that, Fabinho. We need you. Need. Anyway.
So what's next after we have managed to mangle the Baron's Wall?
Well, somebody's been playing Hobby Bingo.
Oh, bingo!
Hobby Bingo.
Dan Lee.
Because kids will do anything for Dan Lee. That's the advert. But in this case, he's ticking off a box for a fucking massive mech.
Yeah, I love the fact that he had to cut open his light box to make a proper picture.
Yeah. Had to go through the roof. Well, to be fair, he didn't have to cut that off. I've unboxed that light box a long time ago, and it has a little flappy bit at the top that you can flip open to put extra light in. So, so he was lucky enough to just be able to flip that up and pop the massive mecha thingy out the top of it. I've no idea what's going on with this. I'm assuming this is another one of these McFarlane toys.
I'm guessing
Next
so,
in the
yeah.
chat, he'll be able to tell us. I could read the thing, but I can't be arsed. Most of it's about painting, to be fair, anyway. But it's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous sign of ridiculousness, and I'm all for it 100%. I pressed the button.
I don't know, for some weird reason,
Unrecognized command. Huh.
these
Why did that not do that?
toy orcs look wrong. I don't know why. Maybe the
I
proportions.
put the link in, but Discord has told me twice that it's an unrecognized command. Oh, there we go. Worked this time.
Weird.
Clearly, Twitch is having a fucking freak out. Have I noticed the space beam for scale? I have, right at the front of the light box. Tiny, or
Normal
comes
size.
up to like his calf. What a shapely calf it is. So those orc toys are cheaper than GW orc characters. That makes sense. That does make sense.
Even though they're using way more plastic.
So,
Jesus.
are you counting that as a large model? Because I know you have a couple of large models on there. Or is there something bigger?
Well, he has a huge model, large model.
That's what you're going for. Okay. I've just realized that you're updating the project picture as you fill them in with overlays of what has completed the Hobby Bingo. That's a fucking nice touch. Oh, that's practically golden button worth. Yeah, scroll up to the top to the actual picture. All the way up. Stop clicking. You can come back down and click those in a minute. Faster. No, you stopped again. Fuck me.
Oh, see.
Jesus Christ. Hurry up, son. There we go. See? Top right is the huge miniature that he's done. And it's the orc mech. That's the sort of dedication that gets your golden button, Crispin. That's it.
I feel this is going to be a very long year.
Somebody would say, you know, printing out a 2 meter long fighter for Billion Suns and painting it, or painting out like an entire gaming table's worth of miniatures for Imperialis Nautica, blah blah blah.
Should be
would be worth
button,
that.
yeah.
But apparently not to Ben.
Well, I can only guess, but maybe there have things been said that shouldn't have been said.
I wouldn't have thought so. No, that's all fine. It's an amazing bra going on there as well. They're both lifts and separates. So, you know, that's good.
I still feel this orc miniature feels weird in proportions. I can't tell you really why.
I think it's because he seems to have elbows that are very wide and a very thin body, in comparison to what GW would do, which would be have a torso 3 times the width.
That could
it's
be
because the ball socket, he looks very thin and stretched.
And
that's
the addition
what you got to
of
do if you want
the
points of
armored
articulation.
and the addition of the armored body doesn't really help.
I wonder, are those McFarlane toys like those Gundam kits? You missed, twat. Where they have the same sort of ball socket joints and sizing, and it means you could swap things. Could we get like a Barbie head on an orc mech body? Could we get some sort of massive?
Why do a Barbie head? Do Barbie legs?
Why not?
Barbie legs on
Barbie
an orc
legs
boy.
on an orc. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Just it's like jigsaw puzzles. Jigsaw puzzles companies use the same dies over and over. So if you get like 2 500-piece jigsaws from the same company with 2 very different images, they will have the exact same die cut, which means you can like take that horse and then take that train and then replace the horse body with the train, but keep the horse legs on and stuff, and it fits together because it's just one stamp cutting all the pictures out. And that I want to see that anyway.
Could be interesting.
It could be, but yeah, there's a lot going on.
Or very much nightmare-inducing.
As Dan appears to be on a. I think there's Moonstone playing along at home. You can drink now. Appears to be attempting to knock his hobby bingo out before we hit the halfway mark in the year. Oh no, a German has written all over your project. I can delete that, I think. That way you don't have to see it, Dan.
You do whatever you want. I don't care.
Die. A ball.
I should have got myself a hot soup.
Hot soup,
Yes.
hot whiskey. What you do is you boil a kettle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a slice of lemon, and then you push cloves into it. And then you put a spoonful of brown sugar in a glass, and then you put a shot of whiskey in, and then you top the glass off with hot water, and then you drop your lemon and cloves in there, and that'll clear that cough the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood. Just do that. Do that now.
Might try that at the weekend when I have time to get drunk.
You don't get drunk.
When I drink hot alcohol, you can see me drop.
Right. Well,
I'm
all right.
not used to anything anymore.
Controversial. Certainly one way of doing it, though.
Indeed. Next up is Oathmark.
Oathmark, 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 Mark.
Let's see if this refresher works. I'm not holding my breath.
Spin the wheel, make me rich, make me rich. What's that?
Some wizards. Somehow they feel like
Chicken tonight.
things I already knew.
Yeah, you might feel a little bit like that. So this is an Oathmark army with a variety of figures from, I believe, the medium of 3D printing. But
We'll never catch on.
I think we've been here before when he was doing the elves way back last year.
Yeah.
So
in October we were here last time.
Yeah. So since the elves have been and gone, some heroic character types have been added to the fray, thus allowing people to actually be commanded and to do stuff. Commanded and doing stuff is great. You're not going to get a contract extension like that, Mo. Catch yourself on. What are you doing? Have you got sweets? I've got licorice somewhere.
Oh, that would be something for a sore throat as well, if I had proper licorice.
No, don't worry about it.
The viewers and listeners may excuse myself now using the means of sweet candy and oh, what's it called? Herbs.
Jugs.
Herbs.
Herbs. Seriously, where have I put the other licorice?
If you got to ask, you potentially have eaten it.
Maybe.
I mean, we were talking about you and licorice.
That is true. But if they didn't want me to eat it, why would they send me it?
Indeed.
That's how that one goes. Anyway.
Heap log. Oh, God. What a terrible naming convention.
Batman, Demon.
Heap log. Oh.
Yeah, you know. It's one way of doing it.
I mean, there's worse names in the universe.
Could be. Not sure what they are, but they could be. But yeah, I quite like this because it's a relatively weird mix of official Oathmark stuff, random historic stuff, and older than my pants bits and pieces chucked together to make an army. And that's the nice thing about Oathmark, which kind of seems to get missed a lot. Although people seem to have been, kind of surprised by booking for that for Bino. By Oathmark. I see a lot of people go, I don't like this. Don't use that part of the book. I'm very confused by people in general these days.
Yeah, and I find myself guilty of this too. Anytime you see something you don't like, you're somehow there's a reflex acting up, going to nag about things you don't like. It's horrible.
Hey, there's a time and a place for it. If you don't like the campaign system, then don't play it as a campaign game. There are some things where, GW, looking at you here, the entire game system is hot garbage. And if you took out all the things that were shit about it, there wouldn't be anything left.
It would be one-page rules.
Fuck. I don't even think it would be that.
No, I mean, it would be literally 1 page of rules.
Oh, well, might be that. Not sure what that set of rules would be. Probably I would allow them to keep movement and possibly some of the attacks, although they would have to change it back to that weapon skill table, because quite frankly, the table shit.
Do you remember the initial rule set they did for Age of Sigmar? This 2-page leaflet?
I remember it coming out, and I remember rule number 1 was, see all you people who've been playing for a while, fuck off, we hate you. I don't need to read any further than page 1.
Yeah, and then there was a rule like the one with the longest beard has the advantage or something. It was so weird.
It was literally, if you own an old fantasy army, we don't want you here. That is more or less what they wrote, word for word. Or you can use your old stuff, but we don't want you to. If you talk to Conrad von Karstein, you get rerolls. If he talks back, you get bonus points or something. It's just like, just say we don't. Just say we don't want your money. We don't want you anymore. Fuck off now. Just say that. It was a shit rule set as well. It took, I think, 15 minutes for somebody to break it when they realised that all you had to do was run a Tomb Kings list with scarabs that burrowed, and then just never come up above ground, and your opponent can never actually kill you. Because you could choose the scenario objectives and win conditions. So you would just go, I'm going to give my opponent first turn, but he's got to kill more of mine than I kill of his, and then you just never come up. I just go, fucking won. I'm going to fuck off to the bar now. Call me whenever you're bored standing watching my empty table. Shit like that. Age of Shitmar is a fucking horrendous game.
Yeah, it definitely was a weird thing, to say the least. So,
anyway, it's quite interesting to see skeletons about the Skeletor.
I'm seeing the headline for the next project, and I'm glad we already had that thing out of the way.
Right. What's that about them?
Rumbly 8 has made some GoBots Which I'm quite proud of myself. I recognized the painting pattern before I read the title of the article, so
Right. You may want to refresh that.
I
There were
already-
images in mine.
it's reloading currently, so I can't push it any further. Try again.
Fuck, they get a corner from that. That's a load of shite. You should let them score. Because then it would have had like a VAR check and you would have lost your fucking corner. Pricks.
There he is.
Yay, there we go.
Yeah, and that's literally the painting scheme of that GoBot as I remember.
I remember Rumble8 sending me a link to it, I think. Or possibly posting it somewhere I could see it. I don't know. Why did you do that? What was happening? We were having a conversation. Had I been drinking? What was going on?
Potentially
confused.
you were lurking in the Facebook group.
I don't lurk in the Facebook group. I bestride it like a colossus. Nah.
And I think I've told that Rumble8 before, but lad, I hate you.
My project for projects after the, I honestly don't know what the best res is for the photos.
The resolution is a rather irrelevant. The file size shouldn't be more than 2 megabytes per picture.
Is that it? Yeah, I think there's a limit, but the reason I don't know is because I have admin privileges, so I can post bigger pictures. So I'm not sure what the limit is.
Yeah,
Obviously, I don't. 'Cause, you can't improve on perfection. Making it bigger won't make it any better.
Yeah, the WordPress
already
backend really doesn't
awesome.
care about how big in pixel width the image is. It just doesn't want images larger than 2 to 3 megabytes because then the upload crashes.
Nice. It's good.
For whatever reason. So.
And if anybody's playing along at home, if they go into that GoBot blog post, you'll be able to see Tim crying into his cornflakes in the comments in that one. By the way, I just thought I'd point that out in case people are just scrolling through the main project log without actually going into individual ones. Good old Leisure World in Belfast. No. Leisure World and Craft World, all gone now. Dead now. Bye. Look at him. Look at him. I'm throwing his head around. I should kick him off the site. Being a whitey bitch. Getting all up in people's grills. Saying, you're not the boss of me, Ray Darcy from Kildare and stuff like that.
Yes.
Sorry. 2-0. Fucking get in there.
A
That'll
great
teach you
promo.
for getting a fucking corner you shouldn't have, you Benfica pricks.
I'm not sure if GoBot was actually a rip-off of Transformers or just some
No.
additional.
The whole idea of transforming things in Japan was massive. So I don't even think Transformers was the first to do it.
No, Transformers wasn't even an original series.
Yeah.
Hasbro bought multiple different versions of transforming robots and just mashed them together to create Transformers.
Yeah, so I think GoBots were an IP onto themselves.
Yeah.
I play. Unlucky Salah. Keep that up, you'll get a new contract.
If you got Netflix, go watch The Toys That Made Us. There they explain in detail how Transformers came to be, and it's a very nice one.
See, every time you say The Toys That Made Us, I immediately think of James Mays.
No, that's a different
TV show.
toy.
Oh, he had a couple of great series about toys. I think he had one called something like The Toys That Made Me.
Yeah, something along those
But it
lines.
predates that American thing by several years, and I don't believe it's real.
Yeah, but
Cheese.
Toys That Made Us is a nice series. It's has some interesting facts about some of the toys I don't think many people know per se.
Doesn't have James May though.
No, that's true. I imagine. Are there any
Worse.
toy lines originating in England where he could make a TV series from?
James?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did loads. Meccano and Trains both got one from him. Scalextrics got one from him as well. He's done if memory serves, 3 separate series on toys.
I think I only saw him repairing little.
Oh, the disassembler.
Yeah.
It's good, but the 1-to-1 scale Spitfire was fucking amazeballs. They went to a production plant and went, we want to teach kids modeling is cool. We want to make a Spitfire because Spitfires are cool. And it was the first plane model kit he ever made, but they did it in a 1-to-1 scale, and they life cast James to use as the pilot. And then they brought these sprues in that were meters, like 10 by 20 meters, and they had to cut the sprue gates off with saws. This whole classroom of kids doing this.
And now I imagine you going around the model pointing out all the mold lines.
All the mold lines are good. I'm trying to remember where they went, because they set it somewhere. They unveiled it to a bunch of actual World War II veterans and people who'd flew the Spitfires and stuff in the war, and it was really good. And then at the end they went, would you display it? And they left it. I don't think it's an RAF museum, but it may be on display at a RAF base. I can't remember. But yeah, it was clinker sham.
Didn't Warlord Games do an April Fool's telling everybody we're selling a 1-to-1 plastic tank?
Yeah. It was not really good April Fools because it didn't really fool anyone.
No,
people forget what April Fool is all about. It's doing something that fools somebody. Like when the BBC told people that spaghetti grew on trees and had to be harvested.
What?
It was the late 40s, early 50s. Nobody knew what spaghetti was in England. Very few people ever tasted it. And they had the whole, as the BBC is telling you, and they're watching footage of people taking the spaghetti off the tree, off the branches and limbs. And, that's an April Fool's joke. Now people just go, can't.
Why does this remind me of how the internet is harvested in Ireland?
It needs to be blessed.
And to be fair, with all the major
Mary.
corporations sitting in Ireland, that's closer to the truth than spaghetti's growing on trees.
Was Holly's April Fool the time he told people he was being replaced by, there was another AI, I can't remember his name, but he was like a bald black fella who was really military based. And after making their life misery, for a couple of days, he went, April Fools. Was that April Fool? Was that Holly? Queeg? Yes, that sounds about right. Fuck, it's been so long. I should rewatch Red Dwarf, but not the new series.
People stopped redoing childhood memorabilia. That never went well.
Always goes well as a big box of bot war will go. Bot war.
I'm starting to ignore that as the same as as somebody called it in chat, your football Tourette.
It's not football Tourette's.
Not my words.
They're wrong.
So what's next on topic then?
Tourette's would be, a tick that doesn't have any bearing on the football match at all, whereas everything I'm saying makes perfect sense for the football match that I'm watching.
Yeah, for you, but we don't see any matches, so...
Yeah, you just sit there and enjoy.
Yeah, and again, project system drying up.
It's doing the Lord's own work. It's just doing it very, very, very slowly.
Yeah, I guess somebody did feed the hamsters. Or maybe somebody ate a hamster.
Freddie Starr ate my hamster. It's a famous newspaper headline from the 80s.
Freddie Starr ate my hamster? Is that the poor man's Ozzy Osbourne ate my bat?
It's that type of thing, except Freddie Starr was actually, a comedian. I was going to say a famous comedian. I'm not even sure technically comedian counts. He was a man who told jokes sometimes on TV. But anyway, there was a story that hit one of the tabloids that he had ate a children's hamster in front of them. And then I think it actually spawned a Spectrum game about tabloid journalism.
Yeah, I thought a Spectrum game about people eating hamsters.
The 80s were a very wacky time. What can I say?
Sometimes
yeah.
disturbing.
Occasionally he'd be just stepping around half dressed like a Nazi and the bottom half just wearing stockings and suspenders. It's just very, very natural these days. What could be more natural than that?
So
Good old Freddy.
I don't know if there are not many more pictures or if just the project system is acting up. There's not much.
No. In that first one, there's only just the Kalishi there.
Okay.
But again, this is the ongoing saga to paint the 28th, 32. How many Dreadball teams are there now? Let me see.
A lot. This is a picture I can get behind. Now we wait for that to load and look at some nice little grots and goblins, orcs.
Oh, Marauders. The Green Moon Smackers or something like that, I think they're called.
They do look nicely dynamic.
29. There are 29 teams. I think he has most, if not all of them.
29.
So he's been going through repainting, reinvigorating them. They will range. I mean, these are Mantic Restic PVC plastic, which gets a really bad rap. But to be pretty honest, a quick cleanup and a quick paint job, and they're more than good enough for firing on the tabletop. I still maintain my way of doing the bases is better, but that's just me.
I love this
Rockstar ate my hamster.
shot.
That was it. You managed the band.
What?
Hazy's just remembered the game that was niggling at the back of my mind.
Oh god.
That's fine. I quite like this. Insert hobbyist here. That's where the hobbyist goes, and then the rest fits in around him. I've ordered a couple of new paint rack things from Hobby Zone in Poland, which are stackable.
To add more paints to your.
Well, I've already got the paints. They're all in boxes in various places that make it unwieldy if I want to use them. So these are little stackable cabinets that have 3 trays in them. But when you pull the tray out, it's hinged, so it goes down at an angle. And each one will take like 60 Vallejo paints, or the inserts in them are movable, so they will fit
P3?
GW or P3 or coat d'arms or whatever it happens to be. So you can set it to whatever you need. I just need it to fit Vallejo because most of my stuff is Vallejo or Vallejo adjacent in that it's in the same dropper bottles.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're here for. But I quite like that. There's a shocking amount of paint going on there. Look at all that paint.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Very, very many paint pots.
It's the way to do it. If you have all that paint, you can go, I'm not sure what way to paint these. I've got too many paints. I think most people should just have 5 paints.
Black.
5 paints is enough.
Black, white, red,
Black,
yellow,
white,
and
cyan,
blue.
magenta, and yellow, and everything can be mixed from there. No need to fuck around. Licked any chickens? Interesting.
Yeah, at some points I'm very happy with my very limited paint palette. So
Yep, cheerful. It's the way to do it, especially for games like this. I do like how he's doing the on the Kalishi as well. It kind of makes me almost want to put my own stuff together, or at the very least strip down. I wanted to paint a load of my stuff ages ago, and I decided I would prime them in colored primer, and I did it during the summer, and it was one of those rare days where it was like ridiculously hot in Ireland, and so the primer more or less dried before it reached them, and everyone was gritty as fuck. It's like all of these everyone needs fucking stripped. It's like, you bastards.
That's one of these things that actually can turn you off from doing any hobby.
Yeah, bring my beige in any 4 colors you want. Yeah, that's the way to go, Izzy. I require 4 pots of army painter tone, and away you go. Have you tried the speed paints yet?
Besides from our
No, I'm
combined
talking to
efforts?
you. I don't care about you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you tried it. We've seen you try it. We're all
I
here
was just
commenting.
wondering if you were losing
No.
connection.
No, shut up. You shut up now. They're interesting. I don't know if they'd work better or worse than tones for what you do, but there's a larger selection than just the tones. I think they've got a lot more pigment in them than contrast. So in some cases they kind of stain more than I'm expecting. There's not as much contrast as there is with contrast. But then if you're just looking to paint things quickly and you don't want to have to do multiple coats and layers and highlights and stuff, it's probably better. This is Omen, looking not dissimilar to Aquaman. Look at him. Look at him with his Aquaman-y legs and his Aquaman-y gloves, being all Aquaman-y. Can't see that there are actually highlights and stuff. That's some sort of magic blue over yellow. Also, I've noticed that I've been remiss in finishing these off, so I need to get back. I'd hate to think that the bot war was not getting painted up, but I've that many other fucking things to do at the moment. I'm just never getting the chance to finish them, because as soon as they're finished, I'm going to do a Slava Ukraine. I'm going to do a bot war game.
Yeah, just...
Oh, I could paint the deceivers in Russian colours and then just spend all my time spanking them.
Yeah, but what would you do if you lose them?
I'll just play somebody who's shit.
Oh, okay. So Justin
cheats a lot. It's good like that.
So what's next then?
I've got the mega set as well, yeah. Epic's probably a good idea. I'm planning on doing my dolly mixtures in it.
Collins doing...
Is this your way of telling us you want to move along?
Yes.
I'm not in a major rush because it's half time, so I can talk as much as you want for 15 minutes.
So Colin is adding 3D printed Wookiees to his stash of hairy friends.
Yeah, well, there's some stuff going on there. There's the original PVC. There's some 3D printed. And I think there may even be...
Yeah, these are the new hard plastics with the large shields.
The hard plastics, yeah. So it's a good way of doing it. I mean, you've got plenty of diversity and variation in the squad when you've just got a big set of walking carpets.
Though I'm not sure that the difference is that high or big as he points out them to be. So that may just be me.
Fur is fur. You're not going to get much more detail on hard plastic over on soft PVC, to be fair. You might get some straighter weapons.
Thankfully, that hasn't been an issue for me personally, but that may be just luck.
It's a good way of doing it, because then you end up with, what's that? At least 2 squads. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 13's a bit random. Who's in there? Has he got Chewie? No, he doesn't. No. All right,
okay. I guess 30 is the odd number because of his 3D printed stuff.
Could be. But if he's printing in 3D, surely you just print out an extra set. And then, bish bash bosh, ole biscuit barrel. Even number again, like nature intended. Odd numbers are wrong, and people are wrong for using odd numbers. You're wrong. Also, you're odd. Anybody know if the new Legion set is hard plastic?
All new Legion stuff is hard plastic. Though
answers that.
There hasn't been word on... initially, Fantasy Flight Games had said then when they change or switch to hard plastic, they are thinking of re-releasing the older sculpts as hard plastic.
But yes, I remember that from
Atomic
3 years ago.
Games hasn't been hasn't confirmed that yet.
Let's face it, they have so much going on in their lives with Marvel Crisis Protocol. Why would you bother wasting your time on a small IP that nobody cares about, like Star Wars?
Well, according to Asmodee Germany, there will be changes coming in May, so...
Really?
Yep.
Will they be putting somebody in charge who knows what the fuck they have and will be doing something with it?
As I understand the interview that they did, basically, they are redoing the homepage completely. So when they relaunch it in May, there will
Wow,
be
new homepage.
dedicated sections for X-Wing,
Yeah.
Armada, and Legion.
Oh,
And
you've sold me now with your talk of a homepage.
yes,
Couldn't give a fuck if there's a new homepage or not. I'm never going to go there. Will they be able to put the miniatures in a store? That's the only question I care about.
oh, there will be miniatures in the store.
There won't be miniatures in the store. They've pissed all their money up the wall in getting whoever's the head of Atomic Mass Games. His brother-in-law is probably a web designer, and they've just taken the budget for producing the miniatures, given it to him, because you know his sister Cheryl needs a new fucking kitchen. They'll have a new shiny website, and still nobody will be able to buy a fucking miniature. They are the worst, just the worst. Drug cartels are nicer people.
You've heard it here first, people.
Fuck, it's true. They're fucking god awful. They're not only shit, but they're terribly shit.
Well, I can't speak
Terribly shit.
for Atomic Mass Games, but
No, I will though. We're shit, and we'll make sure that you never get any of the miniatures you want when you want them. This is our goal in life, and you can sure that we will 100% stay on board with that.
what irritated me is when
Oh, GW are balls. Don't get me wrong. I hate GW. But if I want a GW model, I can buy it.
yeah, that's true.
If I want a Fantasy Flight Games, or sorry, a fucking Star Wars Legion model from Atomic Mass, I have no fucking mission. If I want a Marvel Crisis Protocol Deadpool, fucking no way am I getting Skull Purple. What I have to go and do is pre-order it from somebody who's waiting a restock and then twiddle up my thumbs for fucking 4 to 5 months until they finally decide to fucking send somebody to Europe. It would be easier for me to buy some from America and pay the import and shipping. And even then, they're not particularly great in America either. They're just less shit than they are here because they divert extra stock to them. They are god awful.
Yeah,
I genuinely do not know how they run a business. I literally haven't a fucking clue.
well, we'll see what happens when they hopefully reboot the whole thing. The
Assuming it's not just for Cheryl's new granite tops.
yeah, what irritated me was in the old core sets there were 2 armies and all the things you need to play, so measuring stick, etc.
Yeah.
And
Half of all the things you need to play.
the new
Seconds
box
would be nice.
for the whatchamacallit,
Shadow Bastards.
Shadow Collective doesn't contain any of those, so you get a box. You can buy an extra box where all these things are in, and that box is almost cheaper than the old dice set.
Wow. That's one way of doing it. No, Amanda, they don't even send you the Coke. They don't even send you the Colombian marching powder.
No, no, that always somehow gets lost in customs for some odd reason. I don't know why.
I don't know.
So since this has been a long day, let's go to the longest day by Harry. And while Jerry is putting in the link, I'll try to reload the project.
I told you this at the start of the night. You said, no, they're all loading in for me fine.
They were loading.
You lied.
Yes, I'm known for that.
He's the worst. Just the worst. So, here a little while ago, this is essentially just taking the Warlord's Longest Day box set and getting it put together US Force first. So, onto the beach.
Dead people.
Do you see dead people? We've been here before when he had the infantry sections, but there's been some support, another platoon, and some casualty markers as well. Does ask, by the way, if anybody's playing along at home, does anybody have any opinions on casualty figures in games? I think, yes, great. Go for it.
It depends on if the game has any use for them.
Even if they don't, I like them. They can be used as objectives.
If I remember
I've
correctly,
rescued so many wounded people across battlefields.
If I remember correctly, the Flames of War and tank games in 50mm usually leave that ruined tanks on the table, so why not drop some dead soldiers?
It's That's one way of knowing where you've been. If you have to get back home, like some sort of
Follow
barbaric Hansel and Gretel.
Follow the trail.
Well, for bolt action, you can use them as pin markers, or if you have to go down, or if you're routed, that sort of thing, you can drop one beside so you can see. But there are plenty of other games where you actually need casualty markers to mark what's going on. But I really like them.
He may have gotten a bit overboard on the blood things for my personal taste, but then
Right?
again,
I don't think he has. I can send you some photographs if you want, and you'll see he's been very restrained in the amount of blood
I'm not
he's used
saying
there.
it's not realistic.
Oh no, you're right. It's not realistic. There should be a lot more, and there's, as the phrase says, there's a lot less meat and sausage lurking around on those bases than there should be as well. So you can't have everything, but casualties looking good. First platoon, so he's got his squad's HQ and medic, and then he's still got plans ahead as to whether or not he wants to rim the basing in beige or black. I like black.
Plans
Maybe I'm
within
very
plans.
old. People these days, they don't like a black rim. I like a black rim. It's good.
Why don't people like a black rim?
No, it's same makes it stand out. I quite like the fact that it stands out.
But does it really?
I've seen basing where they're based with some sort of charred brown or beige brown or whatever, and it matches quite close to the basing on top, and but then you need the mat underneath.
Yeah, that's my point. Unless you're playing on the same map with the same miniatures the rest of your life, at some point those bases will stand up either way. So
one of those things. I wouldn't worry about it. It's nice to see Bangalore's on the go as well. When you need to destroy all the barbed wire, fetch yourself some Bangalore's.
I think Lloyd would have a field day with these pictures. They are so big and
yeah, But what's he going to do with them?
oh, but he doesn't get any Lloyd shots. So
No, no Lloyd shots. Well, there's a couple on the Bangalore's. You can see the guys running towards and then running away from you.
Running away.
Magnetic bases, swap them out for the setting. No, I'm late. No. That ranks up there with bases. Doesn't matter where you put them, they're clear. No, yeah, technically, yes, they are clear, but also technically, I can see those bases. They're super deep.
I mean, that would be actually a technique that revolutionizes hobby gaming if somebody somehow manages a way to get miniatures to actually just stand on their feet without topping over.
Just put magnets in their feet and then put a sheet of that rubberized steel under your gaming mat.
That would work to some degree, but I'm just talking about a revolutionary thing that actually would work on every surface without the addition of magnets.
Every model, right? You hollow them out and put a gyroscopic stabilization device in there.
So basically,
then hinge all their lower limbs.
No, I'm thinking more about two-part models. The top part is a hollow plastic, and the lower part is metal feet.
Weebles. You want to make gaming versions of Weebles.
What are Weebles?
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Oh, okay.
Weebles look like little egg people.
I know what you're talking about.
Poke them, and they would Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. But in wargaming,
you don't like, you wouldn't like the German word for those.
Is it better than Weeble?
It's Stehaufmännchen, so literally it's standing up people.
Standing up people. Okay, right, fair enough. It does exactly what it says in the tin. German really is the Ron sale of languages, isn't it? That's just for the older kids in the crowd. Anyway, right, shall we?
Yes, please, before I start laughing. Oh, fucking God. Here's to you, COVID, you fucker.
That's what he says. Oh, look, if you hit refresh, and while that's happening, we'll all sit and wait. Just
I'm hitting a refreshing orange drink.
So, Umbra has been working through his 1666 collection of miniatures, and there's a whole host. some are very historically accurate and some are historically wacky and tangential. So you could use them for fantasy games as well. Burota with the owl on his shoulder and that massive, massive fucking tash. It's a really simple sculpt, but I really like him.
And the paint job also very simple but very distinctive.
Yeah. It's one of those things where if you could be arsed, any chance you're not going to elbow Van Dyke in the fucking jaw, you prick. You can see if you wanted to do an elaborate design on the coat, if you're a bit of a fancy painter type, you could. If you want to have your tawny owl there on his shoulder and all the rest, you could do that as well. Or if you just want to get the fucker painted, you can just go for, you know, sort of basic colors.
He looks like the disappointed master wizard judging his student somewhere in the ruins of
Could be that.
Of Frostgrave, going, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Could definitely be that.
A very judgmental type.
Now, speaking of people who are judgmental, here we have Lucifer doing his Faustian style bargain. Serpent up one leg, a contract he's about to hand over to somebody to get them to sign up. He'll be fine, don't worry about it.
As long as he doesn't call me about my extended car warranty, I'm fine.
Hey, you know, that'll be grand, don't worry about it. There's nothing to see here. It'll be fine. Look,
why does this
you
lady...
sign this.
Why does this lady not have a hand?
Why is she not? You know, because she made a contract with Lucifer and reneged.
Not very clever of her.
It's quite nice. Quite like the, I suppose, almost Pistolier Solomon Kane type in all the black. He looks like that lunatic from oh, hi Mark. The Room. Tommy Wiseau. Looks like Tommy Wiseau with guns.
Yeah. I didn't hit her. Oh, hi Mark.
I did not hit her. Oh, hi Mark.
Oh.
So that was a fucking hard right turn.
I still thought that was a 90-degree angle without any centrifugal force applied.
Oh, very much so. To get whiplash from that turn, it's fucking so sharp. The interesting thing about the next one, though, I don't know. Oh, Jesus! Fuck you! Bastards! Sorry. I don't know if he is actually called Jared or if he's just decided to go with that because of the grey beard look.
Potentially.
Could go either way.
I need to intersect for a second. Hazy Boy says I'm doing an excellent Bob Fleming impression. Who the fuck is Bob Fleming?
Because Bob Fleming is the delight of the televisual age, where he would sit in the shed with his friends and talk about horse brasses and stuff like that. He's a
So I'm
documentarian type.
leaning towards the thing. It's not an insult, but morally.
No.
You remind me of my weird uncle. I miss him very much.
That type of thing. You look up Bob Fleming later on. You'll appreciate the
reference.
The reference, yeah. Stop fucking around. Put it in the back of that, you cunts.
Oh, an obedient monstrum.
That too.
Looks grimy.
Hey, you know. As he says, not every model can be a masterpiece, but I think that looks spot on as far as some sort of strange stitched patchwork horror goes.
Indeed. How much has he accumulated in this project?
Since the last time we were here?
Oh, I think we haven't been here because I'm already at the 2020 mark. And
all right, you haven't been here. All right, I have.
Cardinal Richard.
Yes. Played by Christopher Lee in the Musketeer films. Just saying, he was.
And him also missing a hand by the looks of it.
Might be, might not be. Difficult to say. You're not the boss of me, right, Darcy? Go there.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm not going to go farther down than 2 years now. Apologies. If you lot are curious on more things on this project, you need to indulge yourself on it later on. Or
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I don't care.
Indulge yourself. Definitely, 100%. All the indulging all the time. There's a lot going on there, and it's all worth having a look at.
Though I find two peasants being called a peasant mob a bit of an exaggeration. It's not quite a mob on two.
Being a bit of an eggplant. What?
Exaggeration?
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not that?
I will not try to pronounce any words with more than 3 syllables this evening.
Well, it's one way of doing it. Don't let them equalize you, Fox.
And if I do,
Fuck
I will
for that.
use the German words just to piss everybody off.
Yeah, no, do that. Arse.
Grey Primer is building an endless amount of Wolfenstein minis tonight, so basically a lot of Germans. Well,
Oh, that's good. Well, that won't upset Tim in any way, shape, or form because he couldn't get any Wolfenstein. Good, Tim. So they wouldn't send you any because
there was an import, yeah.
you're filled. Or did they? Did somebody do it?
No, they actually didn't allow. Or no, they wouldn't try because they were afraid that things would get caught up in customs.
I told them don't put massive swastikas on the side of the brown boxes. There's no need for them. But they said if the job's worth doing, it's worth doing right. And then they just stepped around the office. I went, well, you know, fair enough, guys. You're Polish. You know what you're doing.
Well, I can't say I blame them for not being accurate. Maybe that's one way of paying back and going, yeah, we make a great game and the Germans won't get it.
Oh, now they have their Rwenge. All these years waiting to get the Germans back. And how did they do it? By stopping you from getting the game. Clever.
Oh, Orinoco says Christopher Lee was Rockford, not Charlton Heston was Richelieu.
Charlton Heston wasn't in the Three Musketeers.
I'm pretty
not
sure.
Not the one Christopher Lee was in, but was he?
There have been multiple iterations.
Oh no, there's been multiple iterations, but only one with Christopher Lee.
Sadly, we won't get any more with Christopher Lee. So,
oh well, you know.
Let's go.
We had the option.
Let's go herd some cows.
Done things to him. They chose not to. Outrageous.
3's not a crowd. 3's a what do you call it? Crusade. Oh, tiny fighting man.
Tim Curry was Richelieu in that one. There we go. So I'm pretty certain Heston at that stage was wandering around mass shooting sites holding guns up. Ooh, frisky. Yeah, but they had the option to get him to sit in a room and just record all his lines and, you know, vowel sounds and stuff so they could digitally recreate him, and nobody did it. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Oh,
look, elves.
A lot of them with hand-painted shields.
A few of them. It's not that many. It is
many more than I have. Infinitely more than I have.
2, 3. It's only 3 regiments, but he spread them out into different companies because I believe he's using them for fantastical battles. It is fantastical battles. Well done, him. Slightly more in the 2nd regiment, or in the 2nd picture. You get a 2nd set of 3. I've got something very similar. Or I've just decided I need all of the figures. But the most exciting thing for me are these. See the one on the far right?
The one on the floaty disc?
Floaty disc. That's techless. Techless doesn't come on a floaty disc. And as it says underneath, he made that through Magic Sculpt over several days to actually make some sort of wind elemental to carry Teclis around.
Looks nice.
Fits in very well. If it wasn't for the fact that I knew that he doesn't come on one of those, I would have went, yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's an elf being carried on the floaty thing. That makes perfect sense. I'm 100% on board with that.
He really has an eye for details on these tiny miniatures.
He does. I quite like them. Those, I think, are epic transfers on Teclis's cloak, which some people would say is cheating.
Oh, to which I say try painting freehand and 6mm and then we'll talk again.
Yeah, these are 10mm, so, bags are in.
Even at that scale, I think freehand is starting to get...
Phoenix Guard are very nice as well. I never owned any Phoenix Guard. Don't know why.
They were all sold out?
Remember to hydrate. Were they all sold out? Probably. I don't know. I just don't think I bother. I wasn't really big into the elves massively. I just sort of had some. Actually, that's not true. I got a 1,000-point army for being in GW at the time for free. So we're going to send you an army in a rulebook. I was like, okay. Oh. Fuck only knows. Anyway, yeah.
Do they still do that today? Pay their employees in miniatures?
That wasn't a payment. That was we're releasing a new game. It's not like anything we've ever played before. Therefore, we need to make sure that people are hyped for it.
We need you all aboard.
Mm-hmm. It's the way to do it. Oh, I see a yellow card in your future.
We now need
there it is.
to insert a glass bowl. I see a yellow card in your future. It is very bright.
You can send him abusive messages as well. You're just the worst. It's not enough that you sit here walk, then you send them abusive messages. And then they get a little email going, oh, somebody's commented on my project. Then they go in to discover it's you.
Yes.
Tell them they're cats.
It was me all along.
I honestly can't remember Tim Curry playing Richelieu in that, or even being in it. All I can think of is Tim Curry going, Wilderness Girls, from National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon.
I think the last role I remember Tim Curry from that wasn't it or the horror picture show was some weird episode on what's it called again?
Scooby-Doo. He played himself in Scooby-Doo.
No, there was a sci-fi series where he played I think some weird inhabitant of a junk planet. Lex the Dark.
Oh, that's true. Yes, he was in Lex. It's fucking awful, awful show.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a shit
Pete,
90s
welcome.
remake? 90s remake was awesome. 90s remake was so good, they sacrificed actors. That's what they were willing to do to get their art the way they wanted it.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am willing for them to kill off actors like that.
Maybe
to be all that they could be. 4 against 2 here. This is dangerous.
Interesting. So, second to last for tonight.
Good save.
Denzian, and we'll see what he has to do, what he's doing when the project system loads. Spoiler, it's a boat.
It's not just a boat, it's a big boat. It's big choo-choo puff-puff, but with air.
So, not really a puff-puff.
I'd be.
So, this is a project I had been following, so he had done a MDF kit by, I can't remember who that was from. Was it from Hangout?
Henderson, Jota, and Firmino going on a triple sub.
Or was it Sarissa? Sarissa, see. I'm not totally useless at all.
You do you. Yeah, obviously this has been going on since, I want to say the Spring Clean Challenge last year this started. So a year later, it's still trucking away.
We were here last time when he made these nice little interiors.
Yes, but he started this last year.
A long, long time ago.
So it just goes to show you can... oh, salad's coming off. No goal for you today, Boo. Arse. But...
What are you saying? Rectum?
big boat and all the cannons. This may be the one that they could pre-order, and if you pre-ordered it, you got those 24 cannons. I imagine that's how this went,
So
because I remember seeing it.
Pre-ordering the MDF kit gets you cannons.
Yeah, otherwise you have to buy them as a separate upgrade. But it's quite a nice piece of kit when all things are said and done. If you like that sort of thing on the high seas, like Errol Flynn, Captain Blood.
As long as you don't try to go down sails with a knife.
I've got Goonies models.
Goonies?
That could be a reason to get one of these. Hey, you guys.
What was the little Asian guy's name?
Dada.
Dada.
Data.
Oh, God. Do the belly dance.
Do the truffle shuffle.
God.
Come on, Chunk. Sloth love, Chunk. See how good that would be.
Yeah.
Get it for 7TV, I suppose.
Oh, I actually wanted to re-watch that movie with my family while we were sick, and sadly we couldn't find it for love nor money.
Oh dear, you should have asked. I haven't. It was on Amazon, I think. I forced Lena to watch it recently. Hi, Lena. She'd never seen it, apparently.
It's a great movie.
It's a fucking outrage. It's what happens when you're in the Danelaw. Spend their time just watching gritty, noir fucking police dramas.
And it's one of those few movies where the book that followed the movie is actually good as well. Because there are some details described which are very interesting for easily influenceable young lads.
Right.
You remember
I haven't read the book.
You remember the kissing scene where the younger brother is kissing? Yeah, and
Sean Astin, Mikey.
That's a bit more detailed in the book, and it gets a bit more interesting later on.
That is disturbing. It's not watch out for a hole. I think Brad was standing in it. It's like he shot his load all over my hand when I barely touched him.
Something along those lines, yeah.
Wow. Steven Spielberg presents, huh?
Yep.
Team.
Though that was only in the book, not in the movie.
Yeah,
so.
well, I'm pretty certain it wouldn't have got a PG rating if that stayed in there.
Oh, who knows?
That's amazing what you can get away with. I mean, PG there. There's...
What rating did E.T. have? E.T. was PG, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was PG or possibly even
So why did they edit out all the FBI agents' shotguns?
Oh, that was Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, but why?
Because he's obviously decided guns are bad, McKay.
Okay.
I don't know why. That was literally him. That wasn't the studio. That wasn't anybody else. He decided to do a new edition, and George Lucas it up.
It looked so stupid.
Yeah, everybody with their walkie-talkies.
Well, everybody holding the walkie-talkies in the most awkward way, pointing away as
you come
if
near
they
me
could...
and I'll walkie-talkie the shit out of you. Oh. Don't make me walkie-talkie you.
He's got a walkie-talkie!
You could do something similar if they've got a ham radio, I suppose.
Ham.
Slow it down a bit, guys, because this is like fucking pinball here. It's just going everywhere.
So Denzian
not going forward.
Has done a real nice job on this boat.
You know the only thing it's missing?
A battle report.
That's the one. Fuck, you're wise beyond your years, Timberley.
Yeah, I'm not around for much longer, so I now get to spill my beans of wisdom. So.
Bean spiller.
And the last project for tonight. Demon's Up.
Yeah. He's sub who's also Demon. Oh, I heard a good one today. Why did Will Smith slap Chris Rock with an open hand?
I don't know.
Because paper beats rock.
Oh
my
god, I hate you.
Oh, there are plenty of picks. I just told him at the start that the system was acting like a dog, and he chose to put the ball anyway and say it was fine. And now he's got to refresh the page.
Again. Because I haven't done that already twice.
Well, you know, potato,
Seeing that this is a Stargrave project, and some weird company has spilled beans that OTT is doing Stargrave, how do you feel about that?
By the weird company, do you mean the publishers of Stargrave?
Yes.
You know, he did it last time as well. The minute we tell them what the lineup's going to be, while we're still waiting on them to go, yes, no, maybe, they immediately put on social media. It's like, oh, I guess you're happy enough with that then.
Happy as they can be.
Yeah, I've retained the rights not to bother my backside. Punt it. Nobody in there to fuck. What are you going to do there? What is that? Nobody was offside there. Fuck you, you fucking fucks.
Stargrave, Frostgrave minis, that's still something I think I need to have a look in my local store. If I ever get around the city center and see if they have any of those lying
local
around.
Shop for local arse people.
No, not ours, just miniatures.
Just checking.
There is a shop for ours, but that's on more towards the harbor.
There's a whole host of weird and wacky things going on here. And I mean, sure, why not? Arse.
So are these shark people, or are they supposed to be
Alien?
Alien. Well, that's a very broad spectrum. Oh, are these the paper leads, Demon?
This firefight. Is that the one you're ordering, Nick? Where's your firefight peasant? No, these are a variety of models. So these are from Gates of Antares, but because both 5 Parsecs and Stargrave are miniature agnostic, you can throw them in there wherever. Use them wherever you want.
I think the Gamergrass plans really look nice on this.
I'm still undecided about them. I know a lot of people are using them, but I can't not see the white edges when you punch them out of the cardboard. I just can't. And on the bigger plants, it's particularly noticeable. So I'd have to go round and edge all of the plants in an appropriate color to hide the fact that it's white card that's been printed on.
Well, given the fact that these are alien planets, I can live with that.
Oh, I can't.
So I have to wonder why she's kicking the air.
There was probably somebody in front of her, probably a toddler. It just got punted. You know, makes sense.
Eviction notice, leave my belly now.
If you got the chance to kick a child, you should always take it.
I thought that's something only Canadians do.
Oh, your boy! Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh, God. Given the fact that he's in the audience, I think I could get away with not leaving my naughty comment. But then again, where's the fun in that?
Yeah, you do you.
I need my "You made 20 bazillion useless comments on the site" award.
Yeah. Did you get one of those?
I think something along those lines I had.
Outrageous. Huh.
Achievements are a thing. So I be told. Right.
Maybe they're deciding to push Gates of Antares, Doug. They're not. Which is a shame because it's a really good game.
Maybe we should make a list of good games that should be pushed more from the manufacturers that are getting neglected.
Well, I've got 2 right off the bat. Marvel Crisis Protocol, Fantasy, and fucking Star Wars Legion. those right there, those two.
Yeah.
There's two games that need to be pushed by the manufacturer. How about start by manufacturing some? Can't.
Yeah. Any more?
After that, no, not really.
Ah,
I think that's sufficient. Most other companies know what they're up to, and make the models, sell the things.
yeah. Ship them via snail mail to Germany just to have them sent back to them again via even slower boat.
Yep. That too. Well, that's got fuck all to do with the company. That's
No.
100% to do with the shop.
Yeah. And
Can't
if
blame
I
the
should
company for that.
if I should ever be in the area of that shop, I'm going to go there and ask if that person that is responsible for that is around.
Just ask if they're retarded.
No,
Send
no.
an email. I'll ask. What shop was it? It was Fantasy Felt, wasn't
Yes.
it? I understand that the government is subsidizing the payment of one of your staff members by allowing you to employ somebody who is legally considered retarded. Can you get them not to check your stock in future?
Yeah.
Yours, Boris Johnson, Esquire.
I think they would see through that rouse. He would never be able to make
So.
such a good email.
Yours, Norris McWhirter.
What did Monty Python always sign their mails? Sergeant Major so-and-so, Lady Esquire.
Oh, right, yes. Nobody likes a good laugh more than me, except my wife. The captain, his wife. The sergeant. I think about it, most people enjoy a good laugh more than I do.
All right, this is getting too silly now. Can we get back to ordinary silly?
It's a way to do it. It's a way to do it.
And
Klopp looks slightly less happy than I am, which is hard to believe, because I'm really not happy at all. Should have seen Konate's fuck up for their fucking goal. Jesus Christ, all he do was hit it. Kind of let it bounce through his legs.
Now, Amanda, I'm not allowing that naughty word in chat.
Turbo Cats?
Now she's saying, nee!
I'm not a shrubber, so that's all right.
Yeah, on this happy note, we will leave Jerry to just fuck off and go home, everybody. Have a nice day. We'll see you next week.
Arse.
Arr.